Ichigaraga. So I had money yesterday. So you're telling us you had, so you still have to qualify it. But then when you're talking about the future, this is when it gets interesting. You then say Adam.
So I'm going to have money.
So I'm going to have money tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. So
you only use it in the in-way form when you have either ga or na.
Yeah. So if you're talking about the future, you have to keep it as in-way.
Okay, so if you're talking about the future, you keep it.
Remember, because in-way is to have.
Right.
So when you're trying to conjugate it, to use it in a sentence in its proper form, it becomes in-way.
Okay.
You understand? Okay. So if you're talking about I will have money tomorrow, then you say I got me in-way.
Okay.
And that'd be the same thing for like, so I would say, I'm like I'm giving like I'm giving someone a hand. But then if I said
Anamenyaka, it means anamenyaka. It means I'm giving a hand.
Right.
When.
But if you say if you want to tell someone or ask someone to give you a hand and you don't want to use the na anymore, then you say Miram aka.
Yes. So that's the thing with the verbs. You have to qualify it. Okay, when you have ichi, ochi, let's go to ichi, ochi, which is to laugh, right? So this drops down to
itchy.
All right. So remember,
actually.
It's the group 2. So actually, like here you have the in with an echo. You say ache, right? Oche. Remember, this is group 2.
So it can only be instead of a.
It has to be the E. Remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was actually like eye-opening in the world of my verb conjugations. I was trying to understand like when.
Yeah. So
blew my mind
this is past tense. So that's why I said I want to talk about it when we're all together, so everybody has that concept, so that we know when to use verbs. Yeah. If we're using it in the present. I am mana hangefu. Yamana efu kigaraga. I am otashi apopia. So all them my name is Corona. So Wednesday I got a kula view. But to why I need a longer, I try to water my chaya. So that Uzama, you know, need to give me a coop, gamma rotation. I will. You got that? Chima, you with us? You've been very quiet. You understand? See, remember when I finish speaking, I always say questions, comments, arguments. What else do I usually say? Disagreements, anything, worries, concerns. If you don't understand anything, you have to let us know so we can stop and make sure you understand. I need you to understand it, because when you go out to talk to someone, you have to actually know what you're telling the person, so the person doesn't misunderstand what you're trying to say. Okay, so where's your question coming from? Or your concern or your misunderstanding?
I can't think of a question right now.
You can't think of a question right now, but you're not understanding it, so I need to know where the problem is.
I understand what's on the board right now, but I didn't understand what you were just saying.
Oh, you didn't understand what I was saying in Igbo? I was saying when your mom is talking to your grandma, she would actually know how to address her. using the proper form. That's what I'm saying. That's it. It's good because I want to get in the habit of speaking Igbo to everyone. So if you don't understand something, you stop me and then go over it. Okay. Okay. I also go. You understand?
At least for now. At least for now.
I get collaboration. Now when's the labia? I get collaboration.
When it comes, I can ask you.
Is it?
Did you say when they come, I can ask you?
And then Wednesday. This coming Wednesday. Wednesday can I be again?
We'll go over it again.
Okay.
We'll go over it again. I get collaboration. Okay. Kain tapia muka. Ade hobla many. It's correct, but I trump car. I put him my side. Chineke Kweze. God is name. Remember when we're having a discussion about people?
The state of being.
Yes, the state of being. So God is a person and He is King. So we can't say Chineke the Eze, which is also to be.
Right.
But
it's with an animal though.
Exactly. So God is a person and we use both.
Is that the only way you distinguish between boo and D? Or is it?
No.
I was thinking that boo, like you use boo for things that are permanent and never change. Like boo to them, like my name is never going to change. But then you would use D for things that are temporary. Like if you wanted to say, I think I'm very risky. You like it, or what about very risky? Like you're a very risky person. Then you use D because right now what you're doing is very risky.
Right. Your statement right now it's incorrect because you can't really say someone is very risky. You can say what they are doing. It's very risky.
Okay.
You can say iha. You're very risky. Or the what? Risky.
Okay.
So you're saying that thing that person is doing is very risky. But then if you want to, like you can also say onya, be risky. In that sense, that risky is kind of the person is dangerous or something like that, But now we're not really. Onya. Okay. So to me, I think this D here is describing the character of the person, what the person is doing, not necessarily the person being like who the person is, like, because you know his character. Then you say it's risky to be with this person because their character is not good. So you can use this. So because the person, so all the risky. You understand now? So there's something about the person that's making him risky. Not necessarily that the person if the person himself is risky. It's the thing.
But the idea is still
That's
similar.
it.
So like it's what they're doing
Yeah.
right now. Like they're not
Yeah.
always risky, but in this moment, whatever behavior they're doing, whatever they're
Well, if the
demonstrating.
person deceives, then.
That's true. Okay,
Yeah, but
then they have
you're absolutely correct, because it's the thing you're doing right now that's making them risky. So you can use this.
But I guess it goes back to the bigger idea that it's not part of their being. Which is why I don't-
Exactly, which is why you use both for the being. And then, like she said, something that's temporary, something that's inanimate, something that's just there, then you use be.
I was trying to equate it with like fair and a star in Spanish, and I was trying to think of like the way that you qualify between the two of them in Spanish and translate it to Igbo. It wasn't with it, so that's where
English to España.
Well, because English doesn't care.
Igbo.
So I was thinking of other foreign languages that have two words that mean the same thing, and so in Spanish that's always tricky. Like when you use fair versus when you use a star, and so a star is for like when things are changing. So if you were saying that like he is hungry right now, he's hungry, but after he's been fed, he won't be hungry anymore. So you use a star. But if you say that like I am Chidama, like that's never changing. So that's where I was coming from with it.
Exactly, they're all blending together, because the way our languages are, it's so different from the English language. There are lots of ways we can just break down our sentences that the English language is just like one. For me, I think the English language is just one-dimensional, whereas ours is two or more dimensional.
Which makes
so how would you
more
say
challenging.
He is hungry, or
that's a good question.
Rather than saying like he wants to eat, which I know is like another way you could say it, but I don't know if like would you even say that he is hungry?
Agro is hunger. Agro. Yeah.
So having hunger.
He has hunger.
Is hungry, essentially.
He is hungry. So hunger is having him. Agro, Nagoya. Remember, we hunger hungry or something. Remember, we dance, we dream, we sleep. So it's no different from this.
Okay.
But this is just saying he is, or she, whatever, is hungry. Okay. Then you can say Agho is Agho. Agho Nagoya. Agho Nagoya. Agho Nara. Nara. Agho ya. Mana. O. Re. Na. He was hungry, but he has eaten. So this ra is now qualifying this hunger to say that yes, he was hungry a few minutes ago, but he has eaten, so he should be okay. Okay, you can say Orielehe or Oriela, whichever one.
So that translates to he
was
hungry.
Remember, when you have the vowel, it takes the type of vowel. If it was Mary, it was ne, then it would be Mary.
Okay.
You understand? So keep in mind with Mary, those are group 1 verbs. So the qualifier would also have a group 1 vowel.
Right.
How do you know if you're using ra instead of re like we did in Achiri? Oh. No, so like in the same group.
In the same group. Remember now, you now have to look at just the letters. The letters now come into play, because remember we have Achiri. And Omer. All plural, means to come back. Olo. So it's like the vowel in the verb, the taste,
Okay.
the vowel that will qualify it. Understand? Am I making sense?
Yeah.
The vowel in the verb qualify now dictates the vowel that will qualify it. I hope that makes sense, because when you think about it, it kind of sort of makes sense the way Igbo language flows. You know, because you wouldn't have action, ochi. Well, yeah, you could have it when you go into the regions, different regions. But as far as Central Igbo is concerned, and as far as most people who speak the language is concerned, you wouldn't hear someone say achirom ochi for I laughed or I was laughing. It's usually achirom ochi. You won't hear achirom ochi. It's achirom ochi. And
you said really could be riere as well.
Really or reala.
Or reala.
Wow. So when you say la, when you go with la now, you're now going into the region. So some people say iriela, some people will say iriela iri.
And what's the exact translation of
have you eaten?
Have you eaten?
This
he has eaten.
Is qualifying this. Remember, iri is to eat.
Right.
Okay.
So why? I guess I'm trying to figure out why now we're at le and la instead of re and ra.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So that is just one of the, how is it? Idiosyncrasies of the Igbo language.
Right.
It's just peculiar.
Because I'm trying to figure out how I would use them. Like, how would I decipher when to use the re, la, le?
Just by looking at it, I'm thinking that it would be awkward to put another R in there just because of how the word is.
Right.
So the le is just easier on the tongue.
I mean, with that.
Okay, let me make it a little bit interesting.
Oh, good. Oh, good. P.S. Anywhere doesn't have the dots, right?
No.
Okay. Because you're running with the dots. I got confused a second.
So, o, re.
That's I have eaten food, or I ate food, or she ate.
This is actually third person
right.
singular. So he, she ate food. But this is has eaten. Okay. So this is the past tense. And this is what? Past something?
Yeah.
Continuous something? I don't know, but it's like has eaten and ate. So that's another conundrum right there. Like, how do you know?
So, keep it simple. I'm going to say she ate food. He ate food.
But I understand what you're saying about how the vowels that are already in the word dictate it. So that's why it would be re versus re-ray, like the way it was with in-ray. Okay. That much at least. Thank you.
Okay, so, wait, this, one of them is like a past participle.
Right.
I don't know which one. Like I said,
wait a minute.
Exactly. So I don't know which. I think this is the past tense, and this is like the past participle. I know.
So the nagu, the way that is, like that would be actually like the present participle, because the way we say it's like, you know, is habit, like the ing is the participle usually.
Ing.
Yeah.
So this is like nara aguya. So he used to be hungry. That's what you're saying.
Yeah,
so
that's like past conditional or something.
So whatever
right.
That thing that it is, right, is which makes it different from this past tense. Whatever. So that's the difference between really and riri.
This is why English sets you up, because when you're a native English speaker, they don't help you think about what the different verb tenses are. But when I took Spanish, And they're like, oh, there are 13 different verb tenses in Spanish.
Exactly.
Oh, give me
And then
13.
when you go, remember when Marie and I were conjugating in French, it was a mess.
Yeah.
You know, so other languages have different ways of expression. Like I said, English language is one-dimensional. It's so linear. Like, this is it. Past tense, past continuous, participle, blah, 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 blah. But then you come to other languages and, okay, but I ate something. So why am I saying Riri? Can I just say I rear, or, you know, I rear him? You understand?
Exactly.
So it just takes you to a whole another level. That's what this is. So for me, I'm having a hard time explaining it because it's so, how do you say? It's so innate.
Right.
You know, just something. I don't think about it.
Just like,
you know,
I'm trying to think like that because
exactly.
I'm thinking in
You're
English.
thinking in English, so that's where the difficulty lies. But that's why sometimes that's why I was asking if you have any words, any sentences, anything that gives you concern. Let me know. Then we can break it down on the board. Then you can understand, so that when you speak to somebody, it's very easy for you to articulate yourself, and the person doesn't look at you funny like you're trying to be all like I understand you and stuff. You know.
Oh, it's past perfect. That's what that has eaten. Past. I had to Google it.
Past perfect and past whatever the difference is. You understand?
Yeah, there's like the present continuous, the present perfect, the present perfect continuous. It's scary.
Okay, you know, I took the Queen's English. So I think it's the participle.
Mm-hmm.
So probably one of them we had, because I know we had a past participle, and like the present continuous something, present continuous, and it was just I don't know, but I didn't learn. I don't think I learned English up to that.
I mean, it might not be a bad idea for us to do a quick English grammar review so we understand the different parts of speech. Because if we understand,
I don't understand it either.
No, so like if we who are thinking in English first,
okay,
to then try to equate it to Igbo, understand the different, like the intricacies of the verb tenses in English, which we don't ever learn innately, then I think it'd be easier for us to understand these nuances of the Igbo verb tense.
That makes sense. So I'm going to throw it out there and see if it's something that's workable, keeping in mind that we're in August.
Right.
Yeah. But as far as this sentence is concerned, we're okay with this. We understand this particular nuance, how it differs.
Yes.
Okay. Hey, there's another one. Oh, yeah.
He's going to eat.
Or in.
Or he's
going to eat something.
So remember now, this Iri comes into play because Iri is group 1.
Right.
So this cancels to Iri.
Right.
So future is going to eat.
Yeah, that was purposeful that you changed from all to O for Ori. Okay.
Yes. It's just weird how this moves from this to that, and just we use the O and the O and A interchangeably without even thinking about it. Because sometimes when you stop and think about it, like, what exactly is happening in this language? It's just confusing.
Yes.
Yeah. But if you're a native speaker, it just sounds
right.
It sounds right because it just is.
We get it. Go for English.
Okay. Let's push on through.
I wonder if this microphone is loud enough.
I hope so.
Is it possible to?
I mean, this is on, but I don't want to keep.
See, because now the volume is reaching 4 out of the 5 But when you were speaking without it, it was reaching like 3.5.
I don't want to keep having to come because I was thinking since it's going to be a few of us, then I don't have to use the microphone, which is too high for me.
Really?
Anyway. No, it's like I'm doing this because I'm used to. I know that when I go here, it will still, but I always feel like I have to speak into the microphone. Yeah. All right. Next, let me raise my voice. Next sentence. We have Werim Aka.
It's supposed to take my hand?
It's supposed to say,
I am taking a
help
hand?
me. I think it's help me. This was supposed to be help me.
Oh, well, it's the wrong verb entirely.
Help me.
Yes.
Yeah, my God.
Correct.
So this should be Nyerim.
Yeah.
Nyerim Aka.
But if they were trying to say, take my hand, then you say, where akam?
Take my hand is
Where
Werim
akam?
Akam.
Okay.
Take my hand.
That might be what they were trying to say. Because the verb was right.
Not necessarily if this, because I think it was this.
Okay.
I was trying to say. But if you put it around, it will be Were Akam, which is take my hand. Okay. We okay with this one? This comes from Iwe, which means to take. And this comes from Inye, which means to give, to help, to lend. If you want to go there. Question? Okay, we're good on that one. The next one was Biko Wirim Up. And they were trying to say, please bring my bag.
With
Apam.
yeah, so it's with so where
With that. You can also say before we read so you please
take
take my
Could you voice it just to increase so we can listen?
Man, I don't know about all that. Okay, so this should be Biko we sa ra apam. Okay, Biko we saram apam. Please bring me my bag. If you want to look at it that way, but you can also say, please bring my bag, because that's really what it means. Because you're telling the person, my bag, okay? Or you can say, please, biko with that apam. Then this goes off. So biko with that apam. So I have two ways of saying one thing.
So it doesn't matter if you use with or without.
The only thing that would change is the position of this goes off completely. This it falls off completely. Because now you're saying biko with that apam.
Yeah, please bring
my bag. Okay.
As opposed to bring
me my bag, which is what we say. Biko with apam. Rather than saying biko with apam. You should say biko with apam. That's what we say. Then biko were apam. Please take my bag. Questions? Concerns?
So you wouldn't say biko with apam.
You say?
You wouldn't say biko with apam.
With them?
Yes.
Not really.
Okay.
Not really. Remember that this is bringing it into the present. Biko with apam. Bringing my bag with Tara. So you're qualifying this.
I have a question. I'm kind of throwing into stuff. How would you say you brought my bag, or you gave me my bag? Like how
Those
would
are
you
two different things to say. But we'll talk about both of them. Okay. So the first one was
you brought my bag.
You brought my bag. And the second one was
you gave
me
my bag.
Me my bag.
Yeah, how would you feel?
Okay. So this first one was E with Dara. Okay. Apam. Or E with Daram. Apam. So you can say you brought me my bag or you brought my bag. If you put this here, then it means that you brought me my bag.
Got it.
So when you say you brought my bag, you could have brought the bag and just dumped it on the table. You understand? So now this one is finished. You gave it, you brought it to me. Then you gave me my bag. E near him. Okay. Remember, this is to bring. This is to give.
So how would you how would the person you're talking to know that you mean it in the past tense? Because isn't that the same way you would say?
Oh, we're not talking about the past tense now. We're talking about somebody doing something for you.
But they did it.
But they already did it. So you gave me my bag versus you give me my bag.
So this is where the whole contextual comes into play. That's why I wanted to see it, because you said the watara is present in that sentence when we say, please bring my bag. But I see the watara when you're doing the past, it's the same thing. So, yeah. Okay.
It's contextual. Remember, even it's contextual because we can use what we're saying in the past and refer it to the future, refer it to the now. It just depends on how we're saying it and what we're using to qualify it. That's because if like I said, you can say biko with apam, with apam, still the same thing. Please bring me my bag. It's still the same thing. You gave me my bag in your apam. You're now saying what the person did for you. Okay, now you're talking in the past. But now you're saying something you're saying something in the now. Please bring me my bag. You're not saying the person is bringing your bag. You're saying the person should go and bring your bag.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm making sense, but just because we use with our doesn't always this rat doesn't always make it past tense. Doesn't always make it past tense. It just depends on the context in which you're using it.
So you wouldn't say inara with the like.
If you say inna a with that one, it means that you're bringing my bag.
No, nara with the like the way we did naragu.
Okay, inara a with that one.
Yeah.
That means you were bringing my bag. That's what you're saying. So this is what she's saying. Nara a with that. So it used to be, it could be, you used to bring my bag, or you were bringing my bag. So in this instance, maybe something happened, and then I'm telling you, oh, you used to bring my bag, in a with that one. Or, I can say guy with that one, in a with that one, man, I push the mirror also. You were bringing my bag and you stopped and were doing something else. You understand? So it's saying, it's still keeping it in the past perfect, that thing?
Yeah.
Something, yeah.
Right, you used to.
Yeah.
So the way that we used really for has eaten, is there a way to use that, to do that same thing, but for bring?
Oh, with the
Okay, because I think that's probably close to what she's trying to say, because there's no such thing as like have bring or had bring. It's brought. That's what it is.
So what you were trying to say that you brought, like in the past you brought my bag. Is that what you were trying to say? Or
You're right. You brought my bag. Like I asked you to bring me my bag, and you completed that action. You brought my bag.
Okay. So let's.
So. In that sense, would it be different from what you wrote up there? Would it be different from what you wrote?
They will all still mean the same thing, but this is like you brought it now.
Right.
That one means you have brought my bag
in the past.
Okay. So it's like
interesting.
So
but it's still a past tense.
It's still
once you've done it. You've done it. It was in the past.
Right. In English, it will be, you brought my bag. Keeping in mind that we're talking about you have eaten, right?
Right.
So I guess you could say have brought my bag. That would be grammatically correct in English. Yeah.
E with para lam.
Okay.
You have brought my bag. Like, then what else do you want? You brought my bag, so what else do you want? Kinda. So you have brought my bag. What happened? So in Igbo, there's always something else. What was the reason why you brought my bag? So why are you still standing here?
Yeah.
You brought my bag. So what's the problem?
You brought my bag.
So you have to finish it off. You can't really just stop at it's like, okay,
right. It's not complete.
What else?
Right.
So what, like maybe why are you still standing? Can you
can say, you have brought my bag. Thank you. I
don't know about all that. Okay. Something like that? Oh, no, email.
I can do
Email.
You have brought my bag. Thank you.
Hey, but it's saying that you have brought my bag. So that's like the past blah blah blah. Past that, whatever that is. So it's kind of nuanced, but once you can get past it, then once you get the feel of it, you're like, oh, okay, that's what they were saying.
How would you? Oh.
I have a question. At the top, the first sentence, Biko with them, is that, why was that one wrong? Why did we fuck?
Was that you? No, because I was trying to find. Then my next question would have been, what were you trying to say? Okay, so we had to.
So you also wrote that you could say like
we wiped it off.
Yeah.
So were means take. Iwe means to take. So if you say biko, because this was the original sentence. Let's wipe this.
Or if you were talking to someone who was looking for something, you told them like, I took my bag. Is that what that would mean? Like
this will always have to be at the end.
So you couldn't say, I took my, well,
you can say,
that's true. Okay, never mind.
Because it's your bag, right? So the possessive pronoun has to come at the end.
But where's the I part of the sentence? Like, if I wouldn't say, where am I, like, I took my bag.
Wearing.
Okay.
And now this has to be here. You can't just say a wearing. It has to say a wearing.
Okay.
Now if you say someone took your bag, then wearing. They took my bag. So going back to Chisholm's question, this was the original sentence. Biko wearing apa. That was the original sentence. Now, we weren't sure what they were trying to say, so we said you could use it in two forms, okay? It could be, please bring my bag, or please take my bag. If it's please bring my bag, then this will be Biko with Daram. Okay? Or you can also say Biko with Ta. But if you say please take my bag, then you say Biko with Apa.
Okay.
You understand now? Because we weren't sure what they were trying to say. So we broke it down the various ways that you could use this sentence.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Yeah. That's why you have to come on time. You have come before. You would have seen all those things on the board. So we clear?
Yeah.
We good? So the next sentence was, it's still the same thing, but let me put it on the board. It's said we rim equal.
Bring me the cup.
He's saying bring me the cup
With
equal. You're saying, please take my cup. Is where it equal. So the problem is where to put this pronoun.
So does it have to be wetam, and it can't be wetam equal?
Like
Where means bring in, please?
Where means bring. Where means take.
What that means?
What time means bring.
Okay.
So take my cup. Bring a cup for me. With time, it goes a little bit rude. Your parents can tell you that.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Okay.
Biko will take what? Oh, that will take Miko. But usually, when you're speaking to someone, you say Biko with term Miko. Because that's a little bit rude. Well, it's not. It's actually rude.
So when you're asking someone
But
to
we
bring
say
you water, it wouldn't be Miri. It would be Miri to not be rude, right?
then you put that Biko. Biko, when you say Biko, then you say
Biko.
that. Well, for water, you say Biko nyetum Miri. Please give me water. So nyere is in the sense of like lending a hand. Biko nyerem aka. You can also say Biko nyetum aka.
Okay.
You understand? If you come to someone and say Biko nyomaka, it's like Biko help me. Like please help me. And you're like demanding it, please help me. But when you say exactly or nyemaka, that's not being polite. So when you qualify it with that ra, now it makes it a little sweeter to hear. Okay, I'll help you. You know, because so now there are different ways you can break it down so it will be more polite for the person to now help you do something.
Can you spell what you're saying with Yitum? Is that what you're saying?
C-O.
C-O.
O. Not the O dot. Not the O, but O. O. Yitum aka. And then you can also say Biko wetara mmiri. Please bring me water. Now back to what we're talking about. We have this sentence here. And then it also depends on how familiar you are with the person. So someone was Uju Nyemaka, which means would you help me? Because she's familiar with Uju, Uju is probably her sister or her very good friend. Then you can use that. Nyemaka.
Uju
Uju is somebody's name. Yeah, Obian Uju. She who comes in time of plenty. Uju means plenty. So Uju is someone's name. So then Uju Nyemaka. Uju help me. Uju help me. So because you're very familiar with the person knows they mean no harm, then they'll help them. But usually you say Uju Nyemaka. Okay, so next one we have is all for your child. Which goes back to what we were saying earlier.
He is the white person.
She's the white person. And you have Udo. What's the meaning of this?
Peace.
Udo.
Oh.
Udo. In your notes.
Somebody's born.
It's long, right?
Okay.
It can be long too, though, right?
Long.
It can be long, yeah.
Yeah.
Not because they call me Google.
As opposed to Udo the ogologo, which means Udo is tall. Now you're talking about a person's characteristics. The person is tall.
But that person's not going to get short.
Huh?
That person is not going to get short once they're tall.
But tall is also like relative. You know,
Yeah.
to you maybe I'm tall, but
That's
someone else
true.
could be short.
You could be short.
Exactly. So when
That's
you talk,
true.
when you're relating it to somebody's characteristics, then you add the thing as opposed to bo. But if you want to say, you can also say Udo bo onyogologo. So Udo is a tall person. As opposed to just say Udo is tall. Then that's cool because now you know that
No matter
his
what.
being, his state of being, he's tall. You understand? So yeah. So when you catch those little instances, then it makes it a little bit easier.
But you know, Udo and Udo, just like Enyankulu, is very similar.
They're not similar, honey.
But as in the name, because you thought it meant peace, right?
Yeah.
No, it's spelled
It's
differently.
different.
I said Udo. I didn't say Udo.
Okay.
I didn't say Udo. I said Udo. U-D-O is different from O-D-O.
Okay.
Right.
Okay? Two different words. Not the same. Not at all. So Udo is peace, which is somebody's name.
Right.
So you say Udo the ogologo. So one of his characteristics is that he or she is tall. Okay? But then when you say Udo bo onyogologo, so I say Udo is a tall person. Now we know that he, she, their being, their person is tall. As opposed to Udo, which is a rope. And then you also have Eri, or Eri. When you, I think this is more of a regional thing. I don't know. It's still rope, twine, string, anything. You know, in Nigeria, we used to play when I was younger, I used to play thread, you know, the thread hair with the thread. So we say erishi, so the thread for hair, as opposed to odo, ishi. Odo is usually used for, you know, like the thick ropes that, you know, you tie to something. But eriri is mostly like a twine, a string, or anything that isn't thick as a rope. Eriri is more of a string-like consistency, if you want to put it that way. Okay, questions? Are we good?
Yeah.
This I don't understand what this means, but let me put it up here. What's this?
Go.
What was there? Pronounce it for me, please.
Aqua.
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 Aqua. Up, down. Aqua.
Aqua.
You're going up, down. Aqua. So rubber, fluff. Okay, so given this, now you know. Now I know what they're trying to say.
The cloth is green.
Exactly, the cloth is green. Remember, undu is the color of life, and the color of life is green.
What would you use? D or D, right? Because it's an object.
There are a couple of ways you can say it. You can say aqua na cha. ndụ. Akwa ahụ na-acha ndụ ndụ. Mfe akwa na-acha ndụ ndụ. So you know that the color is green.
So the first way is incorrect. The aqua na nudo.
Yeah, because we're not sure what they're saying. Okay. I know in English is the wrapper is green.
Right.
But in Igbo, the color is longer than what you have there. Like that wrapper's color, or that wrapper is colored green. That's pretty much what this is saying.
Mm-hmm.
That wrapper is colored green, or that wrapper's color is green.
So that verb, nacha, the infinitive is icha, to color?
Icha is like complexion, color, the color of something.
So that sentence would literally translate to
Icha.
that song, aqua ahum nacha.
Aqua
Ahum.
Remember, this goes together.
Okay, aqua ahum. So it's aqua ahum.
Aqua nacha.
Ndo. So that would literally translate to the cloth.
The color is
green.
colored green.
That cloth is colored
Yes.
green.
Or the wrapper's color. That wrapper's color is green. Okay. Which is also equivalent to the wrapper is green.
Right.
But the way we say it, we say everything, because aqua ahụ dị ndụ, or aqua ahụ dị ndụ ndụ. Then now you're saying that the wrapper is alive.
Right.
Which doesn't make sense.
No.
Okay? So we're trying to differentiate. We're saying that the color, we're talking about the color now, not the state of being of the wrapper, because it would be weird if the wrapper were alive. You had a question, right? I think I forgot.
No, I think you answered it. It was just about the but there's a different way entirely to say it, so it's fine.
Okay, good. I'm glad I answered it.
So I have a question. So is green. It also means green, and it also means
life. Remember,
that's two different words.
It's just one word. The color of life is green, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So ndu is life. The color of life is green.
Okay.
So when you say ihe na-acha ndụ ndụ, we know that the color, it means that the complexion or the color of that thing is green, because green is life.
So it's important that you, for this sentence, because the meaning of ndu in this sentence can change based on the context and then.
Yes, so because that's the ndụ ndụ. Like akwụkwọ nri na-acha ndụ ndụ. Okay, but then again you can say akwụkwọ nri dị ndụ, like the vegetable is alive, right? But the color is green, so ọ na-acha ndụ ndụ. Akwụkwọ nri na-acha ndụ ndụ. See, when it's still on the tree, it still is alive. So you can say akwụkwọ nri ahụ dị ndụ. Which means it's fresh. So esekwana akwụkwọ nri ahụ ọ nwụọna or ọ kpọnwụọna, it means that it's dried out, so it's dead. Does the mom have a quiz for me today? That's the best. So she's satisfied that I know what I'm talking about.
I think she's gonna make me guess this kind something.
I'm sorry. Oh yeah, tell her to come.
My
mom is coming on Wednesday, so we're going to rope her to teach us something. So if she comes in, we're gonna make her teach us something. You know, I could stand to learn a bunch of stuff too. So this is interesting. All na ese.
So that's to say,
What's this?
cooking. That's wrap up.
What's
it's
this?
eggs. Sorry.
Pronounce it now.
Aqua.
Aqua.
Aqua. Aqua.
Aqua. Is egg. So
He,
she, is cooking. But remember, that's what they're trying to say. But remember I said this, which comes from ite, is reserved for soup.
Oh, that's right.
That's the only time you can say on ite something.
They can't be cooking eggs. They could be egg soup. I don't know.
No, the person is trying to say they're cooking the egg,
Right.
right? So what they should have said was all na isi or ishi akwa. On ishi egg. On ishi akwa. This is a little strange for me to pronounce, so I have to put what I say down there. Onisiapa. I remember, yes.
Why is there such a difference between cooking and cooking soup? Because
I don't know. I have to ask my grandmother.
yeah,
I don't know. Because usually at home, when they want to talk about cooking soup, they talk about achomi tofe. But they do say achomi shofe. Like I say achomi shofe. Maybe when I'm talking to my grandma in the village, will I remember that to say it. But cooking. But that soup, fufu is our life source or something. So what goes with fufu is the soup. So it has it's just like the Eskimos, they have how many different ways, 23 different words for snow.
That's true.
So we should have ours, right? That's what makes us unique. We should have ours. So when we say ite ofe, that's our own slang. Okay, but it's ishofe. It's correct. It's not wrong. It's correct. You're looking at the time. You have to go. But it's time for us to go. 12:30. So
Wow.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know. Time flies when you're having fun. You want to continue or do you want to go?
She got to go to work, so.
Oh, what time?
We have to go to work, so.
Oh, okay. Should we continue to about 1?
That sounds good. Let's go to 1.
Okay. Okay. So on this one, so we understand that we use ite for only soup. Everything else is eaten. I wish we would have time. I want to teach you guys like tongue twisters. Our own tongue, because we do have some.
Yes, please.
I can imagine.
That should be
And
fun.
there's some proverbs that I know. I have to start getting some proverbs. Yes, ma'am.
Can you do like the basic structure of a sentence? Because I think when you explain certain sentences, sometimes it kind of gets confusing where to place certain like the pronoun and verb and all that.
It gets confusing because we really don't place our pronouns where you'd expect them to be. Like in the English language, is usually before the verb,
Mm-hmm.
but in Igbo language it's usually after. Usually, typically, but in some structures it might come before and then also after the verb. Like when we're saying with that ram papa.
Bring me my bag.
This is the, it's saying bring me my bag. Okay, this is, so you have this, you have two pronouns. How do I explain that? Now you have two pronouns in one sentence. Bring me my bag. But typically you say, please bring my bag. Right? But in Igbo language, we typically say, please bring me my bag. Okay, we don't usually say people with tabam. We say people with terimabam. Usually. Okay. So I'm gonna try. I'm going to try, but just know that the way the sentences are broken down in Igbo language, it's not usually the same as in the English language.
But there are some general rules, like the pronoun goes after the noun rather than before. So I think that's probably what she wants, like the general rules to follow.
The general rules, I think English, or maybe German.
That's the rules.
When you say my bag, you say apam. So usually the pronoun comes after the noun. Usually, in some cases, you have one before, and you also have one after. Okay. Pretty much the same thing. Ha, which is the pronoun gara ola akwụkwọ, which is the same structure as they went to school. It doesn't always happen, but sometimes it does happen. So it's not really easy to tell you that this always goes here, that always goes there, because sometimes it changes.
I have a question about Would it be incorrect to put the ha after the ga, or would it be incorrect to write it that way?
Gara ulo
akuko. Yeah, would that be incorrect?
So gara ulo ha akuko. It would be completely incorrect because ulo akuko means school.
Okay, gotcha.
In English, school is one word.
Gotcha.
Okay. In Igbo, we don't have one word for school. But we have a house of learning. We have a house of prayer. We say church, but it's uli. Okay, so we don't have school. We have a place of learning, a place of worship.
Okay, so how about ga ha ulo akuko? Would that be incorrect?
It would be incorrect.
That would still be incorrect.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would still be incorrect. So,
but if you wanted to say they went to their school, then you put another ha at the end of the sentence.
Right.
So,
Okay, so how about, okay, so that's, they went to school. How would you write, they are going to school?
Hanaga.
Okay, so that ha.
So that na.
Okay.
Na.
That would be the present.
It's now, it will be what we usually, what we're conjugating. Hanaga. So they're going. Okay. If you want to say they will go, haga. Hagaga. They will go to school. So for me to tell you that this should go here and this will go there, it will be doing you guys a disservice, because when you try to pronounce something, when you try to write down something, then it becomes kind of difficult, because but she said we were supposed to put it here, and you know, remember what we went through with the whole past tense, present, and all that crap, just trying to figure out what it would be in Igbo. So, me telling you that the rules and regulations are you do this, you do that, it's not going to do you much good, because they're different. You could go to another region and they tell you something entirely different. Okay, but she just told me that this, you know, so. But that's why I'm taking the time to break down these sentences, so that you have a feel for how sentences work. And then when you're speaking to someone, if you take your mind back to what we did, you can probably pick out the correct structure. You call it lexis and structure. The correct structure in which to put the sentence. That's why I'm not teaching you that this do this. I'm just trying to tell you the words, the everyday conversational words, and try to tell you this usually goes here. But as a general rule, I can't do that, because a lot of things I don't really know, because sometimes, to be honest with you, I was probably sleeping when they were doing stuff in class, or I wasn't in class, because I felt I knew it. So, and then I would just read the textbook. So that's why it's good. You guys are asking questions. You're asking how would you say this? How would you say this? It shows me that you're actually listening and trying to put things together. And honestly, it makes me happy. I am so happy. Don't you don't want to sound foolish. But I think the more Miracle was saying that to actually learn the language, you have to stay with the native speaker, and the person actually speaks to you every single day, every single time.
And that's the way
you get it.
Because one thing that I'm finding is that I'm understanding, it's like almost like a light bulb going off. I'm understanding the language more if I read it. Not so much if somebody's talking to me or if I'm trying to speak back. But if it's on paper, I can say, oh, okay, I know what that says. You know, I can do that. So I want to be able to speak it. So you're right. Somebody will have to just constantly
challenge your mother-in-law. No, seriously.
She does.
I know she does, but
I just need to give her that blank stare.
Then you ask her, when you ask her, let's say, Mabiko, Kowaram Hebrew, then when she says it, you ask her, you can ask her in English, how do I answer you in Hebrew? You understand? Yeah. So when she tells you the response in Igbo, then you repeat it. You keep, because it's like a call and response. It's like monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah.
Pretty much that's what language is. Monkey see, monkey do.
Right. You're right. I mean, that's how Obi's learning English. Whenever I say something to him, he'll repeat it.
Exactly. And one will come and say, daddy, daddy.
Right.
He hears the speaker and say, daddy, daddy. Then you know that that's daddy. So it's monkey see, monkey do. If she says something, encourage her to speak to you in Igbo. When she does and you don't understand, just ask her to translate it and tell you what your response to her should be.
What's the sentence for how do you say blank in English? Would it be gini bu blank na atsumbike? Would that translate the same? Like how would you ask someone in Igbo how you say a word in English?
You say what the word that you're trying to say. Gini bu. Yeah.
That's it.
Gini bu okwu a, like gini bu akwụkwọ. Gini bu book n'Igbo. And they'll tell you book bu akwụkwọ.
Okay.
Making sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you have like some CDs or songs and stuff that? Because I think if I like listen to some songs.
What kind of songs?
This is like the Igbo songs.
One more highlight.
No, yeah. It's true. You have to go and listen to.
You listen to Christian music.
Yeah.
Or download the Igbo Bible audio.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
It's an app.
Yes. If you have the yes, it's an app.
Talking the entire Bible.
Yes.
It's really overwhelming.
And then what you can do is break out your English Bible
And
as they're reading.
Oh.
Go along, because this is what I sometimes I read the Bible in church. So what I do, because typically, like I told you guys, English is my first language. I learned English before I learned Igbo. So I usually think in English, then translate into Igbo. So what I do is, a lot of times if I don't know the word, if I'm reading the Igbo Bible, like practicing, I have to have my English Bible so that I can go word for word, like, oh, I would just put it that way. But, then some of the words now make sense to you, because there's some words that I was seeing that I'm like, I've never heard of this before. What is that? But then when I go to the English, like, oh, same word. Mbidi. Okay. And then I learned something. Honestly, reading the Bible, I learned a lot of Igbo words that I just have in my vocabulary that you don't typically use, but those words are there. So what she said is correct. Do that. Yes. So the next one is that your amigo. That's correct. I think we've done that. That's another word too. I want money. I want money. Actually,
if you want to say, I want your money, achrom egogi. Your money.
Your money.
Not my own money.
I want your money. So, but you now you have to put this behind after the noun. But the English language is before the noun.
Right.
It said uchoro or achoro.
What's the difference between the verbs icho and ichoro, like in terms of use, like to want and to desire? Like I always seem to mix up like when to use one versus the other.
Icho is to want. Is to want. What other word is there for to desire?
Well, what about then? How do you get ichoro? Then isn't that a different verb, or is that just a different rendition of the same verb?
It's the same thing.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
It's the same thing. That's the vowel.
Yeah.
That's running the show.
Okay.
So it wouldn't be HR. It would be HR with that. So if you want to put it in the negative, I chugging. And chugging in Google. I chugging in Google. So I don't want your money. I don't want money. Any questions?
What was the first one? The last one you said? I don't want your money. Which one is this?
Actually, remember when you want to, is there such a thing as negative?
Negate.
You want to negate something. So you put the, okay, so it just makes it negative. So instead of saying I don't want, we just say I chugging. Igbo is interesting.
Yes, it is.
Alright, this one is interesting if I must say so myself. Ona aka ntakịrị. So who can help me with this?
His hand is small. Yeah. Something.
This is hand.
Right.
And this is small.
Yes.
So what is this saying? What do you think they're trying to say?
She
has small hands.
Okay.
Yeah.
They have small hands, right?
Yeah.
She has small hands. But is that statement correct as written?
No, there's no verb there.
Okay, so what's missing? Or what should it be?
It's blue or something. Are you doing it? Yeah, it should be something like this. It should have this.
Obu and kantakre. If you say obu, aka, kantakre.
But would it be Vu or D?
It's small and but this is what we're trying to say.
Right.
Okay, so hands
It's like so
to
like
not Igbo. So let's break it down to have. To have Igbo, we're getting
English.
inwe.
So O
Inwe, right?
Akanta.
So group one, give up your ya we're getting
Anyway.
inwe.
So on that one.
Okay.
It's the same as saying is having, but it's just not grammatically correct. Because present tense, like she has.
So this ona kantakre makes no sense whatsoever. Makes no sense whatsoever because you're not sure what the person is trying to say. I mean, you have an idea what they're trying to say, but factually it has no meaning whatsoever in the Igbo language. Okay? So we're trying to say she has small hands. Remember, I was saying that when you're talking about in the noun, right now, saying that she has small hands,
Mm-hmm.
we use u, re. Okay. If you want to use this and this together, if you want to put both of them together in a sentence and you must use this na, then you say o na enwe. Akansake, which means she is having small hands. That's what this sentence means. Which is a weird way of saying that she has small hands. Which is, I think, that was what this person was trying to say on their way. Akansake. But you can say on their way. Isi or ishi or wa. She is having a headache.
Oh, I mean, pain.
This is one of those things that you learn when you're advanced in the language. Okay? That's trying to say isi na wa. Yeah. She has a headache.
Oh, so that's
So
like
this is just a
breaking.
compensating way of saying this.
So like a head that is breaking, like a
Yes,
splitting
a head
headache.
that
Okay.
is breaking, got it.
When I saw that, okay.
In Igbo, we have no word for a headache. But if your head is aching, think about what happened. It feels like your head is throbbing. It's like someone is hitting, banging something. So, Ewa means to break. So someone is breaking something in your head, and it means like your head is breaking. So you're having a headache.
Same way that in English we say like a splitting headache.
Yeah. So onwere aka ntakịrị is this one. Okay.
So you see nawa, yeah, means what? The head is breaking. Headache.
Ewa. Isi is to cause a headache. Ihe ahụ na-awa m isi. That thing is making me have a headache. So, isi, can't say this isi, that sounds weird. Ishi, ọwụwa, is head. Ọwụwa. Sure. We're almost to the end. Alright, so this one has to do with color too. Can I wipe this?
Mm-hmm.
Akwụkwọ na-eju. What does this mean?
Yellow.
Thank you. So keep in mind, and this is book, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think this sentence is supposed to mean?
My book is yellow.
Right. So this person literally took the English sentence and make it English. Because my book is yellow. So akwụkwọ na-edo. But that's
right.
You're thinking my book is yellow. My book akwụkwọ na is edo, yellow. Okay? So remember we said akwa ahụ na-acha. So akwụkwọ na-acha. Edo.
So you have to write it twice?
Yeah.
Because it's yellow to yellow.
Yellow. Exactly. You don't do things once, you try to do them twice. On that change it. Okay? And so let's stop here. And hopefully by Wednesday, we're going to have the guest speaker. The ceremony to prepare a lesson. And I'm going to totally put her on the spot. Just tell her, teacher, say, when she ready, when she ready herself. So, I think I really want us to go through these sentences so that by when we finish it up, then Saturday we can talk about Igbo and Ede and see if we can break down some sentences. Okay? Questions? Did everybody have fun? Did you learn anything?
I do have one question. I missed it because I was in class last Saturday.
Okay.
Onion plus a number. Like what exactly?
Like the order.
Like second person, third person?
Okay. That first, second, third, fourth.
Okay.
Somebody in the middle, somebody in front, somebody behind.
So that's what that's doing.
Yeah, so it's in reference to a position.
And could you simply say the first?
Yeah, we're done. Thank you.